Well, Kell Brook did what he's supposed to do, right? The Double RT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr. A. Thank you for your time and support. Tuned in to the Ready Talk Boxing Show, the boxing rehab for us boxing junkies who just love boxing and get high as fuck off it, right? Talking that welterweight high. No, super welterweight. Kell Brook, right? Now, first thing first, if you tune in and a regular of the Double RT Boxing Show, we keep records, we keep awards. We gotta catch up with. Look, stay tuned in for January's best. We did the weekly recaps. Now stay tuned in for the January awards and also the weekly recap of the first 2 weeks of February. Stay tuned in for those. Now, if you already watched those weekly award shows, I raised the question: how do you judge knockout of the year? Does the rounds matter? You know, does unranked opponents in a 10-round fight, can they still be qualified for knockout of the year? Or is it like, fuck yeah, Mr. A, the dude got his ass knocked out. It's knockout of the year. Just him, just accident. Or does it have to be ranked fighters in a 12-round bout? Because here we have Kell Brook in a glorified sparring session against Mark Deluca. Straight fucking laugh, I believe it was. Just dropped the shit out of him. Is that knockout, which was a good one, but it wasn't as deadly as the 10-round knockout over Seals, but it's unranked. Here we have Kell Brook, 12-round fight, wins an intercontinental belt, folks. The same, excuse me, the belt that I believe Alvarez has, but this was for that intercontinental. And the intercontinental, gosh damn it, I just mentioned it in the video I just made that Lorena turned down to fight Yuri. The intercontinental belt is the fucking. I don't know. A lot of people don't. They knock it. They don't know. They don't understand it. It's a cream of the crop. Kell Brook, Eddie Hearn pulled. He hooked Kell Brook up by getting that intercontinental. 154. Was that, like I said, we'll talk about the intercontinental at the end of this. So stay tuned in. Don't just quite turn it off yet. Thank you for your support, Mr. A. Kell Brook did what he's supposed to do. Mark Deluca put no threat on, except for when he got hurt. He was thrown back, but nothing too really. You can't be like, oh shit, Kell Brook looks phenomenal. He's ready. He did what we thought he was gonna do. He did what was expected. Now he looked a little sluggish, for the first 3 rounds. Round 4, he started clicking it on. The punches start flowing a little smoother. The uppercuts, the ones and twos, the jab, the jab, the jab. Now how he finished with that straight left, and I think it was the seventh round. Beautiful fucking shot. Like I said, Kell Brook, the same old shit. Just his timing need to catch up a little bit. Now, back to the WBO Intercontinental title. That gives you the right to the champion. The champion, folks. Like I said, if you just now getting tuned into the Double RT Boxing Show, we talk belts, we talk the top 15, all divisions. That's why this is the boxing rehab for us junkies. Quick rundown again for you might be a new viewer. Subscribers, I'm going to do the spiel. I'm going to talk about the belts. You love hearing the belts because you're a junkie just like myself. The Intercontinental belt, why it is important, folks. The Continental, you can fight. I always said since I'm in the Northern America, if I win the Continental belt, I can fight anyone. I could beat anyone's ass in Canada, United States, and Mexico because the Continental allows me to cross into different lands over a border, a dry land border. Intercontinental belt allows me to travel to different continents, overseas. I could cross a body of water. So, dry land is continental, intercontinental. You could cross water to go hunt down the champion, the WBO champion. Now that Kell Brook has the intercontinental, he could get on a plane, travel anywhere in the fucking world to hunt down the champion and fight him. That's why the Intercontinental belt is so important. Can't do it unless you get a voluntary defense. Most of the time, the people who get the mandatory shots, they're Intercontinental champions. Now, who is the WBO champion? Who is Kell Brook trying? Whose scalp is he trying to take? And that's gonna be a tough one, folks. Cause right now, the belt was just elevate. What's the word? Elevated, whatever. Raised up, but the champion, interim champion Patrick Textera, who beat. Um, did he beat Carlos Adams? I believe that's who he beat for it. And then he got raised up to the real champion once. I forgot how that belt got free. How did that belt get free? Anyway, Teixeira got that belt, and now he's been ordered to fight Brian Castellano, who I think is going to get that belt. And there is no way I see Kell Brook fighting Brian Castellano. Maybe he will. Maybe he's saying he wants the big fights. But that is not a fight I think is going to end well for Kell Brook if he fights Brian Castellano, who I think will win. Now, if Patrick somehow upsets Castellano for that belt, then maybe Kell Brook might be champion. I think he could hang with Patrick, but Patrick has shown heart where you have to beat his ass to get him out of there. So maybe he might last around and just upset Kell Brook himself. But as far as like I said, as far as winning that Intercontinental belt, his best bet is to hope that Patrick retains champion over Castellano. Because now that, like I said, that fight's been ordered. And what was Kell Brook going into this fight for the WBO? Going into the WBO, Kell Brook was what the fuck? Holy shit! Eddie Hearn hooked his ass up. He fought for the belt and he wasn't even ranked in the top 15. Eddie Hearn, Earn with Hearn, the Double RT Boxing Show.